All right, guys, we are back. Walking Dead Junkies. We haven't done a Walking Dead Junkie episode in a hot minute.
Like a long time.
Like we were away for a while in general from both our podcasts, but I feel like it's been even longer since we've done a Walking Dead one. But for the first time ever, Chelsey and I are both completely caught up on both shows, or all three.
All the shows.
All the shows. I just watched. I'm gonna try to make. How do you change the view?
There's
there we go. That's what I wanted. Yeah. I was trying to. You were full screen. I was a little tiny box.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, it's. I think I had to do it on my end. But anyway, so yes, this is the first time both of us are completely caught up on all the shows, all things Walking Dead related. And we both just finished watching both the series finale of The Walking Dead World Beyond and the mid-season finale of Fear the Walking Dead. And we're kind of on a time schedule today, so we can't just dive into all the things. We will do that very soon, especially now that we're on a break from all the shows. So today, because World Beyond is the first series in the world to completely end and stuff, I figured, and because it's kind of, even though it's probably my least favorite of the three, it's probably the most important one going forward in the universe. So that's kind of what I'm more excited to talk about. So let's just get into it. The Walking Dead World Beyond. So where do we even start with World Beyond? Should we just talk about like the finale and maybe that post-credit scene and what the fuck we just watched?
Yeah, sounds good.
So I knew there was a post-credit scene. They announced it, I don't know, earlier this week. They said, make sure you stick around because there's a big post-credit scene that has to do with the future of the Walking Dead universe. So in my brain, I'm like, finally, we probably won't see Rick Grimes. I'm like, oh my God, maybe we'll see like Jadis going to talk to him, and that we'll find out that maybe Jadis isn't really as bad as she seems, but she's playing this angle with Rick, playing the long game. I was like, it has to be something like that, right? Nope, totally not what I expected.
So way back when Rick was first written off the show, it's not what I expected either. I was totally with you. I was hoping to see Rick. I've been hoping to see Rick since we saw Jadis in the trailer for The World Beyond, like the next season. So
yeah.
But we haven't seen Rick, and I don't think we're going to. I just don't think we're going to. But they did set it up back when he first left. They were all, well, we want to see the world expand, and I thought that, like, how are you going to do that? That's insane. How are you going to make this a worldwide franchise? And they set it up really nicely. Yeah. I was definitely surprised. I accidentally hit fast forward times 10 like seconds or whatever. I was watching on my phone, and I saw Jenner's face, and I was like, oh my God, no. So I rewound it, and then I watched over.
Yeah. So like first thing this morning, like I woke up, rolled over, grabbed my phone, and there's this YouTuber. So shout out to this YouTuber called Movie Idol. I don't know if you've ever watched him on YouTube, but he makes all sorts of really awesome Walking Dead videos. It's basically the only kind of content he makes is just Walking Dead discussion videos and reviews and stuff. I watch him all the time. He's very knowledgeable of the universe. So shout out Movie Idol if you so happen to be watching this. But I have a little bone to pick with him because I have actually notifications set on my phone. So every time he posts a video, it shows me. So that way I see them all because that's how much I like him. And he posted this video about the post-credit scene, but the thumbnail for the YouTube video was Dr. Jenner. So it wasn't a whole spoiler. It was almost like a teaser more than anything. But I went into it thinking, oh, so maybe from the beginning, Jenner knew about the CDC. Obviously, he knew about the CDC, the CRM. And they were working all the way back then together. That's what I thought it was going to be. Did I think we were going to see the French? No. Did I think we were going to see fast zombies? Not in a million years.
I don't like the fast zombies. I hate fast zombies. They give me heebie-jeebies. It's all very intricate. And now, even more so than before, I just have questions about where everything falls in the timeline. And am I supposed to believe, I know we're talking about the world beyond, but am I supposed to believe that nobody knows what's going on in Texas? And there's that.
Yeah. So that was another thing that I was thinking, like, okay, So maybe it won't be a connection to like Rick or something. Maybe it's gonna connect to like Morgan or like the Commonwealth, like something to do. Like I just thought it was gonna pull all the shows together more, and maybe you see Iris like coming across Michonne, or you see like I thought it was gonna be something,
Right.
anything like that. Um, I do love the post credit scene. I've wanted to see like aside from Mexico, because we've seen Mexico in the universe and Fear, but I've been wanting to see like other countries and France, especially because it was name dropped in season 1 of Walking Dead. So I've always kind of wanted to see France and maybe see that story play out, but I never thought we would get it. I thought if we were going to get it, maybe it'd be in Tales of the Walking Dead the next year. But it was, I will say, it was really cool to tie season 1 of Walking Dead when obviously they had no idea that any of this success was going to come and all these shows in this Marvel cinematic universe that they're building was going to happen. So it was really cool that they took that and tied it all together. But I do want to talk about the fast zombies. So like you said, you don't like them. I have a hard time believing that in how many years are they in the apocalypse and Walking Dead and World Beyond? Like probably 12 or 13.
Yeah, like I was gonna say 15 maybe, but yeah, 12 or 13 is probably more realistic.
So I guess because there's not international travel anymore, like you don't have people getting on planes and boats and stuff. You don't have people going from the United States to the like the UK and like France and stuff. I guess there's not really that kind of disease transmission, but I have a hard time believing that the fast zombies are only over there.
Right.
And I don't see how, obviously they're going to, but I don't see how they're going to bring that all together because, like I said, there's no international travel. And as far as we know, maybe the CRM has some way of communicating with people in France, but those Jenner's tapes were destroyed in the CDC explosion. And then what France has, I don't see, especially because they killed that one lady, I don't see how that is going to tie in with Rick. I don't get it. I don't know what is going on. Which I
So
get.
yeah, I, there's definitely a lot going on. And they mentioned Project Primrose, right? So at this point, like, is Project Primrose the original zombie outbreak? Is what is the doctor's name? The girlfriend, Laura was her name or something like that.
uh, from what?
World
Oh,
Beyond.
oh, Belshaw, Lila Belshaw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lila, something with an L. Anyways, is what she's working on, was that an extension of the Primrose project? You know, I did Jadis trade Rick and then lie about who he was, what type of person he was, in order to save him from being in the Primrose project? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions, which I guess I was really starting to wonder what the Rick movies could be because we learned so much about the CRM and what their seemingly overall purpose is in World Beyond. So I was really like the whole time I'm like, wouldn't Rick be here? Like, wouldn't Rick be part of this? Like, I was like, this doesn't make sense to me. So I was like,
Up until I saw the Jenner clip, I was like, Rick's running Portland. Like, that's
yeah.
just about the last kind of obvious option that we could have. But
so now especially because Rick does have that connection to Dr. Jenner way back in the day. Maybe that's how it gets tied together. But I don't know how that's going to happen, and plus we have the Daryl and Carol spinoff coming. They were obviously both in the CDC too.
well, so Jenner took everybody's blood, right? And he uploaded all that data he found and whatever. So, I mean, somehow or another, those test results could have tied Rick into this like crazy fast zombie world we're living in France over here now.
Yeah. It's very intriguing. I'm also not thrilled that they're changing the zombies and making them fast, but it does make sense, especially if it is like a disease that there are, especially from what we've seen with like COVID and stuff, there are multiple strains. It makes sense, like biologically, scientifically, it makes sense that there would be other versions of it. I don't know how excited I am, but I don't know. I'm not gonna judge it yet because it was literally just introduced and it was like a shell shock. So I don't think anyone expected that.
So
But
I
I
guess
guess
the biggest thing for me in the world beyond though is Jadis.
mhm. She's Jadis was never really a good guy, but she kind of was at the same time. She was kind of more of an ally. Like in The Walking Dead, she wasn't really a good guy, but she wasn't not a good guy.
I told Rick not to be friends with her, but he didn't listen to me.
Yeah. Um, but and I think that's why this whole time Jadis has been in World Beyond. I'm like, okay, she's playing another angle. Like I mentioned earlier, maybe she's working with Rick, which still could be possible. Maybe she's working with Rick to play the long game to do something. Um, I don't know. We didn't get any signs of that aside from there were points where Jadis would like make a face or like turn around and do something, and you could see she was being more calculated than maybe she was pointing out. So I don't know. That could have been just me wanting to see something or not. But what I do want to talk about, because I think World Beyond set up a lot of stuff to come. Michonne has to fit into this somehow with the people she was walking with. I don't think those are just going to be, I don't think that's just some random group. For a long time, people thought, oh, that's going to be the characters from Fear the Walking Dead traveling, but that never really made sense to me. Um, do we think it is the people of Portland? So do we think that's Iris and
I very much think it
Elton?
could be Iris. Yes,
Yeah, could it be
I
Iris,
do.
Elton, and what was that girl's name? The girl from the perimeter that's friends with Elton.
Indira's daughter is her
Yeah,
name.
yeah. I hate. I'm good with names on these
She's
shows.
super cute though. I love her. I
Yeah,
love that whole storyline.
yeah.
Um,
But do
I
we?
like Iris a lot, and
Yeah,
I wouldn't be mad about seeing her character grow in other aspects of this
exactly.
movie.
I don't think this is the last we'll see of these characters. I think we watched their story for a reason, and I believe that. I don't think this is going to be the last we see them. I definitely think my number one prediction next time we see like Iris and Elton is with Michonne, and maybe Iris especially has gotten like kind of hardened, and that's why those people were like, "They'll leave without us. They're gonna." And yeah, I think those could be the people left over from Portland headed somewhere. I don't know where. Um, but that I really think that's how that's all going to tie together. Um, Also, do we think so? Silas is now a soldier.
That part.
Do we think he's actually all in CRM, or do you think he's because Silas is pretty smart. Never my favorite character, but he's pretty smart. Do you think he is playing the long game to get revenge for Dennis?
I think Silas is about self-preservation and what's the smartest move for Silas in that moment.
Yeah,
Um, I think that he loves his friends and he'd help them out, but as long as he sees that working out for himself too. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? And I don't know, I don't see him being the vengeful type.
yeah.
I feel like
No,
he was pretty much bought into the idea of the CRM when Iris and everybody showed up, asked for help the first time.
yeah.
So
I could definitely see in the movies eventually um Rick and coming across Silas and Silas being an ally to Rick, and that's how Silas gets out of the CRM. Because I agree, he's not the bravest, and he doesn't have that kind of personality that he's going to be like. I don't think he's calculated enough to be playing this long game. I think maybe if anything, he's looking for an opportunity to go find them.
yeah.
But I don't know. I don't have that much faith in Silas, I guess. But um what else was there to talk about for World Beyond?
Huck. I was Huck was a personal favorite of mine. I was very suspicious of her. It did not surprise me when she turned out to be like a CRM double agent or whatever, but I always liked Huck.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, she laid down her life for her friends, and that's
She had the exact arc I thought she would have, which is awesome. That's exactly what I wanted from the character. I did expect her to get killed. I definitely thought she would go down with the ship. I didn't think she was going to make it out, but I was really kind of hoping, because she is definitely, I would have said until the final episode that Huck was the best character. I think now I'm leaning more towards Iris as maybe the best character in the show, just me personally. But I really liked Huck. I like how smart she is, how she was really able to play that double agent well. Yeah, she was a great character, and I think she had a good death. I liked it. And I liked that even her last dying breath was about that watch, which is, I thought she just had a great exit. I love everything Huck did.
Yeah. I was, except for the fact that she didn't kill Jadis. I was really hoping that she was going to kill Jadis, and then that would just be handled and we wouldn't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, that was never going to happen though. Jadis is too, because of the character that she is, she's too important to the overall uh arc of the universe. I think Jadis is going to be a key player in the movies. I just, because she's probably the most powerful character in the entire franchise right now. Like across all three shows, we don't know what Rick's doing, so you can't really count Rick in that. But she's a beast. You do not mess with Jadis. Who would have thought season 7 of Walking Dead, when she just comes in all broken English with a weird haircut, she'd become like the most important character, like in the entire.
Definitely not me.
Yeah. Everyone was like, yeah, she'll die. Rick or Negan or someone will kill her in like a season.
Well, they should have. They should have.
They definitely should have. I'm still holding out hope that she is working with Rick with a bigger plan, and this was their plan for her to really get in and infiltrate. And I think maybe Jadis is just doing what she has to do to not blow her own cover. I don't know. I'm really holding out hope.
I guess we have to believe that, because what other reason would Rick not have left wherever he is?
Yeah.
Like, you can't expect me to believe Rick Grimes is just gonna let himself be held hostage. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, especially because he has Michonne and Judith out there. He doesn't know about RJ, but he has Michonne and Judith out there, and even like people like Daryl, Carol. Like, he's not gonna want to stay away from them. He's gonna work to get back to them. They're his family. Right. So there has to be a bigger reason, and a hope. And I think they will make a good enough reason for him to not have returned. Especially because if Jadis isn't a good guy, the CRM is going to know about Alexandria, about the Hilltop, about the Kingdom. I mean, Hilltop Kingdom aren't really there anymore, but they're going to know about it. And maybe Jadis made some sort of deal with them to keep those people safe. And maybe that's why Rick hasn't been able to leave, because Rick has to stay to keep them safe. So maybe he sacrificed himself going back to keep everyone safe. I don't know, but there's so many different variables. It actually made me very excited for what's to come. I just wish we would have got a Rick Grimes name drop. I was really hoping. I don't know.
Or something, just a clue, anything. Yeah.
Maybe you get a stand-in actor to play Rick, and you get Andrew Lincoln to just do like a voiceover, and you see a silhouette of him like talking to Elizabeth in the jail cell. Something. I don't know. And maybe I'm kind of, in a way, I'm kind of happy we didn't see Rick, only because I'm so excited for the movies, and I feel like if they showed him now, it kind of ruin it, but also it wouldn't, especially if he was just at post-credit scene. I don't know. I'm buzzing. I'm very excited about the future.
But yeah, I guess I still just have a lot of questions, and I'm concerned.
How do you think Hope and her dad Leo and Will and Felix and Indira, who all stayed back behind, and all the scientists, how do you think they'll end up playing into the bigger story? Because if we don't think this is the last we've seen of Iris and Elton, I don't think this is the last we've seen of those characters either.
Right. I don't know. I'm still stuck on the timeline thing. That really bothers me.
Yeah, we need like Scott Gimple to like put together a chart.
Yeah, the guy who's trying to convince his friends to buy the plot of land. We need that, Scott Gimple.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know. We have a lot of smart people, right? There's not really that many like scientists though.
Yeah.
Maybe in the Commonwealth we'll find some people that would be
Well,
helpful to that cause.
Scott Gimple did confirm on Talking Dead, I don't know, a few weeks ago. One of the last times they had Talking Dead, they don't do it every week for Fear and World Beyond. He did confirm that there is some sort of connection between the CRM and Commonwealth. We don't know what it is, but whatever that connection is, it's going to have to do something with, I think that's not Michonne. It's Judith and Virgil with the whole Michonne going off thing. And I think it's going to propel Daryl and Carol to the movies. So I don't know if like Commonwealth could be another community with the CRM, but if it was, we probably would have heard about it, and the CRM probably would have been trying to gas them all out.
Right. Well, I'm thinking maybe like Indira's people, they kind of have an understanding, shall we say. You don't kill us, we don't kill you. We don't work together, but we're not against each other.
Exactly. Because it's weird because Walking Dead's obviously my favorite, but at this moment, it's probably the one I'm least interested in, only because of all these things going forward in the universe. I want the Commonwealth to propel it into the future, which I'm sure it will.
In
But
the last eight, it'll be the
yeah,
last eight, and it's gonna be
I'm also
a
just
long
curious.
eight.
Yeah, I'm also just, I want to know if they're gonna end Walking Dead like they ended the comics with the. Did you finish the comics?
Yeah.
Yeah. With the big time jump, because that could be kind of spoilery. Because if you see Daryl and Carol have returned, or you see Rick, or like they met, you don't see like some characters, or you see like Morgan there, like it could just be kind of spoilery. But if they don't have those characters there, I wouldn't want them to do the time jump. So it's kind of, I just don't know how Walking Dead is going to fit into the rest of the universe, and I'm sure it will, but
Right. Well, I doubt we see Daryl and Carol the last eight.
oh, okay.
I feel like their exit, that's what this whole Reaper storyline's been leading up to, is their exit, right? That's just me personally. For whatever reason, I felt like this since even before this season started. Like we just won't see Daryl Carol.
Yeah.
They'll finish up their segment in this middle eight, and then the last eight will just be dedicated to Ezekiel and the princess and Maggie and Negan coming. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of your Maggie Negan predictions were probably right about how the show is going to end. I don't. The only way I see them doing the time jump is like Herschel and Judith making a little family and being, on their porch at the end of it all. And I don't really buy that. I don't see it.
Yeah.
I personally, I wouldn't be mad if they didn't end it that way.
Yeah, and I don't think they should, only because of what they're building to. I think it might end with them like they say Daryl and Carol are there until the very last episode. Maybe it ends with them being like, "Oh my God, Rick's alive. Michonne went to find him. We need to go." Especially because I don't think Daryl and Carol, of all the characters, maybe including Negan, I don't think they're gonna fit into a society like the Commonwealth at all. I don't think they're going to want to stay. So maybe their final arc is getting everyone to the Commonwealth, knowing Maggie is in charge, and maybe then they're like, we're going to go find Rick, we're going to bring him back. And maybe I don't know. I'm
Judith and Virgil are together now, and
yeah.
Judith told Daryl, right? Didn't she tell Daryl?
No, Judith didn't tell Daryl because she didn't want Daryl to leave her. which is
So,
annoying, but makes sense for a 10-year-old.
right. Okay. But what if, because they had that huge storm rip through, like Alexandria is hurting. They're in a tough situation. So what if she just tells him, they come back from fighting these Reapers and Daryl's girlfriend killing all of everybody that she could. And Judith's like, hey, we need to go find Michonne. We need to go find my mom. And that's what they do. I just don't see that. I don't know. I just don't see. I feel like because there's only 16 episodes left in its entirety, everything is going to have to be very concise. We don't have room to kind of draw out the arcs the way that we would want to. And exactly. I just feel like it's going to be very quick and it's just going to happen when it happens. And I don't think we're not going to see Michonne for the rest of the season, right?
No, I don't think so. I think the next time we see Michonne, I don't know if it'll be the movies. I don't know if they're planning some sort of like mini series with her. They did say this wasn't the last time we'd see Michonne. It would just be a minute until we saw her again. So I don't know exactly what their plan is. So if we do see Michonne, I think it'd be really surprising. But that's what I think is going to propel Daryl and Carol to want to go out on the road and find her and find Rick. But the one last thing that I kind of wanted to bring up is, so Fear the Walking Dead is timeline wise is way behind their other two shows. They're only a few years in. They're like maybe 5 years in, if that. So their timeline doesn't add up with Fear. So do you think maybe after this season we'll finally see a time jump, and so they can finally start bringing Fear the Walking Dead into the rest of the universe?
I don't know what's going to happen with Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I know that they definitely, everything needs to be on one level kind of playing arc. I don't like trying to figure out where Morgan existed. Like, it's getting very Lost season 4 to me when nothing made sense. And I just need it to all be on one time frame.
I feel like we have like World Beyond that is really like connected into the rest of where Walking Dead's building to. I feel like Walking Dead is going to connect by the end of the series. Fear, the only connection they've ever had to the CRM was through Althea and Isabel. And now that they're not on the show anymore, I don't know. And they don't have any signs of connecting with the CRM. Morgan's basically forgot that these people exist, apparently. And I feel like Fear is kind of in the water flailing around where the other two are like marching out, and Fear's like, wait, hold on, wait for me. And it's kind of lost right now.
Yeah, I agree. Because I'll admit, watching the Teddy storyline was super fun, but I don't think any of us really thought about how it would play out in the after effects.
Yeah. I'm really over Fear this season.
Same. I mean, I don't like the whole gas mask, everything, and the wind's blowing the right direction. How do y'all even know this? Like,
yeah, the only person that I can buy that knows about any of this is Grace, because
Grace, right?
Because that was what her job was,
right?
But yeah, I really do hate the whole nuclear storyline, and so I actually went back this week and I started Fear the Walking Dead from the beginning.
So I love the beginning of Fear the Walking Dead.
I've never rewatched it before, so this is
really.
I'm watching it. Like, I know the basic storylines, but I've watched it all before. But that was 5-6 years ago, whenever it came out, 2016, 2015. So I've been rewatching it, and where was I going with that? I love Strand. I love Alicia. I love like Daniel, like these characters that we still have.
I love to hate Strand.
Yeah. Well, Strand, I shouldn't say I love Strand. He's a great character. He's so captivating to watch. And I really, especially seeing like, he's kind of a good guy, kind of not throughout the whole series. Kind of on your side. You can kind of trust him, but he might stab you in the back for his own personal gain. That's always been his character. I never wanted them to take him full villain route, though. I liked that Strand where you could always tell his heart was in the right place, but sometimes his ego and his self-preservation got ahead of him. And I think they've abandoned that. So it's like this season, this is Strand's character, but they're straying too far away from it. And I want to see Daniel, Alicia, and Strand together. I don't want to see them fighting.
Here's the thing, Madison should have killed Strand a long time ago, and then everything would be fine. You know what I'm saying? There's these decisions that should have been made and they weren't. And I don't know how far along you are in the rewatching of the Fear the Walking Dead process, but when they show up to Mexico and Victor's boyfriend's mom meets them and she's like beating the crap out of him and telling him how awful of a person he is. And, just like that always stuck with me because he might have helped save a few people and get them out of Los Angeles or whatever, but the welcome that he got in Mexico always, it just, for whatever reason, it put me on my toes. And I was like, no, you are a bad guy and you don't need to be here.
Yeah. And I don't understand his motivations. I don't understand what he's trying to do right now. And it doesn't really seem like he's trying to do anything other than show everyone how big his dick is. Like, I don't see what the point of him making enemies out of everyone he's survived with for years. I don't see the point of that other than to just show off how cool he is. And that's kind of out of character in a way. But it's
not really though. I mean, he pretended that he owned the big yacht. I'm this big man and I make a lot of money, and when really he was like a con man. Like, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So I'm kind of over Strand, and I think he's gonna die by the end of the season. I think Alicia will kill him. Like, I don't see a way of them redeeming him.
So we know that they shot at the stadium, and there's just a lot of things in Fear the Walking Dead that there's just a lot of things in this universe I'm just supposed to buy into and just not question. But I'm just supposed to believe that Alicia's been bit for at least 3 months now.
Yeah, a while.
She still hasn't turned, but she's still fighting the infection. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
come on, dude.
I don't buy into that. I don't buy into that at all. I know we don't have time to get all the way into Fear, but just to kind of cap off Fear discussion, and then we'll save it for another day. I was so mad this whole final episode. I genuinely thought, because Fear the Walking Dead has done some crazy shit before, I genuinely believed they were going to kill Alicia.
I did too.
I almost, and I've never done this for Walking Dead ever, I almost turned it off. I literally had my hand on the mouse on the X when Alicia got bit, and then she's sitting there telling Morgan that I'm gonna die anyway. Like, I thought Morgan was gonna just stab her and go on his way, and then Strand was gonna show up and a dead Alicia, and it was his fault. I thought that's what the story was gonna be, and I was literally, I don't think I've ever been that mad, aside from maybe when they killed Beth in The Walking Dead, at the Walking Dead franchise. Thankfully that didn't happen.
Right.
But that's what I thought it was going to. That's where I thought it was going. I was just so mad. But
so yeah, there's a lot of questions, not a whole lot of answers.
No, I feel like we just kind of just talked about this could happen, this could happen, this could happen. What if this happens? This might happen. And the thing is,
our ADHD kicked in.
Yeah. The thing is, to cap off this whole discussion, they need to announce something about Rick. They need to announce something about the Rick movies. I don't know what it could be, because I don't know if they've filmed yet or not. I don't know where that process is, but it's getting to the point where it's been too long. And now they've set up all of this in World Beyond. I know things got messed around because of COVID, and the timeline probably got extended way longer than they ever planned to. But still, they just did all of this in World Beyond to set up the Rick movies for the most part. You have all of this stuff happening with the universe. We need that story. It's not even about Rick anymore, but I have a bad feeling it's going to be a few years until we get any kind of answers.
For sure.
They're not
any kind of closure.
Exactly. And I think maybe that's what Tales of the Walking Dead, I'm so excited for it, but I think it's almost going to be a distraction. because they're gonna bring back, they're gonna do like they're gonna bring back like Abraham or Beta or like older characters, and they're gonna show kind of their journeys and like do backstories, which is great. And I'm very excited for all of that. Like I would love to see Abraham on screen again, but it's almost going to be a distraction because it's not building new story to what the universe is going to. So they could be wrong, and maybe next week when this airs on TV, maybe there'll be some sort of big announcement about the Rick movies or a Michonne. I'd even be good if they're like, hey, Michonne miniseries is coming, a 1-season Michonne miniseries that once this ends, then the movie comes out or like something. But I need that announcement, some sort of confirmation that we're actually going to get these answers in a timely manner within the next year and a half.
Right.
Like it's too long, and we'll stick with it because we love this series, but I feel like a lot of casual fans who have really been trying to keep up are just going to completely implode and lose it.
It's a lot to take in for me as a person who thoroughly enjoys this show.
Yeah.
I could imagine for people that are just like, I just like The Walking Dead. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that I talk to that have never seen one episode of Fear the Walking Dead. So that means that's catapulted by us, the super fans.
Exactly.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
I agree. Definitely don't want to have to wait 3 years to find out at least where Rick is. That would, the where or the why, you know, something.
Yeah. And that's why I like how World Beyond ended. And I think I'd like it better if we didn't know that it was supposed to be building for the Rick movies. Like I'm really just trying to figure out what the point of that show was, aside from just showing us more from the CRM, which was great. We learned a lot. We got to see Jadis again, which was good. Finally, like one answer to something, because she was a big part of that. But it just kind of fell flat. And it did give us a lot of questions, but it's almost like we need another season of World Beyond, because I feel like they set up a lot, but there's not going to be another season. But I'm like, okay, you set up this whole storyline with Portland. I know you have to go here in a second. But
oh, no, you're good. I got about 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. I thought we had to be done like a minute ago. Cool. Okay. I was gonna start wrapping it up, but I guess we have a minute or so. Anyway, so yeah, like so they set up this whole thing with Portland. So like you have Iris and Elton and Indira's daughter, whose name we should probably know since she survived.
I mean, yeah, but
I genuinely I don't know what it is at all. But
I really don't. I don't know that.
I'm sorry, you're a great character, and if you happen to be watching this, we really apologize. But as you can tell, there's a lot going on in the Walking Dead universe. You're a new character who
has very pretty eyes.
Yeah, we appreciate you. You're a good character. Sorry, we don't remember your name. But they set up that whole thing. So they're going to Portland to warn them. So could that be where Rick is? Could the next time we see Iris be them going into Portland and wanting to like talk to their president or mayor or whoever?
And it's Rick. I would thoroughly enjoy that.
And so that makes that a point. But then again, couldn't they have like put that like they're going into this building and they're like, can we speak to whoever is in charge? And someone says, Mr. Grimes will be with you in a second.
Right. That's like, all we're asking for.
And like, so that would not have been a spoiler for the movies. That would have just been this. Oh, so Rick is building, like he is like in charge of something. Like he is leading. Like that's all we needed.
Right. That's it. Like, and then not even that, like how Michonne felt, how we all felt when Michonne found Rick's boots and that little scrap of log paper. We just need something to keep us going out here.
Well, like I even thought, okay, so Indira is an artist. It's like her thing. That's her like character trait. So maybe it ends with them getting on a ship, the ship that Michonne eventually finds. And one way or another, Indira learned about Michonne and Judith, and she's the one that drew that for Rick. Like, and I guess that could still be a storyline eventually.
Yeah.
But there should have been more. And it's not even I can't wait to see what comes next. It's almost like an irritating,
Like I have to see what comes next,
Yeah.
whether I want to or not.
Yeah. There either needs to be, maybe they'll a surprise announce the next season of World Beyond, but I don't think that's going to happen. Not that I love that story, but there's just so many loose ends that I don't want that to be take up all the movies.
Right.
I don't want the main character in the movie to be Rick and Iris. I love Iris, don't get me wrong, but I want it to be Rick. So I don't know. I feel like I've said that a lot. I'm very mixed right now.
You brought up Indira's art, and it made me think about Silas and Elton rolling in the little globe that she did.
You know, so many people, like I watched a lot of reviews and stuff on YouTube. So many people gave that scene so much shit. Is it kind of
I
unbelievable?
love it.
Yeah, it's kind of unbelievable. It was so funny. It was
It was so
cool.
But see, I also like Z Nation, and they rolled zombies in a Wisconsin wheel of cheese or whatever one time, and that's what it reminded me of. And it was I don't know, I loved it. I thought it was super cute and fun and different. We haven't seen anything like that anywhere else. So
yeah, that was, I loved that scene. And
I thought it was great.
Was it kind of unbelievable that it just like magically missed that tree in that building and stopped right there? Yeah, it was a little unbelievable. Perfect spot for them to just get out. Yeah, that's not quite likely. Maybe it should have ended at them like hitting the tree and then they crawl out.
Right.
But it doesn't matter. It was fun. And sometimes with this show, you have to suspend your belief a little bit to have the cool moments. Are they realistic? Maybe not quite, but it's so much fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially because you have to remember this show originally was just a comic book. So it's allowed to have these comic booky moments that are a little unbelievable.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Definitely.
But yeah, what else is there to even, we covered so much so quickly.
We did. It's kind of a first for us.
Yeah, we normally drag on and on and on and on and on. Yeah, so I guess just overall thoughts for World Beyond. So what was your favorite character of the whole 2 season? If you had to pick one character that you who you thought was the best character.
I guess Huck. I guess Huck.
Yeah, my first thought is also Huck. I'm leaning more towards Iris. I think she had a great arc, but yeah,
Iris was always just a little annoying to me and over the top.
Yeah, I don't know, and I hate to say this because I hate talking bad about the actors, but sometimes I wondered how, because they're young actors, it's almost like how much experience did they have as actors? So part of me was like, okay, they're doing the best they can as these actors, especially not having much experience with a show so heavy. So I'm like, maybe that's what it was. She was just doing her absolute best and she's still working on her craft, kind of like Carl in Walking Dead, where sometimes his acting wasn't quite on par, but you still like the character. You still were able to buy it. That's kind of where I was with Iris most of the time.
I can see that.
Yeah. So what was one character that you thought was going to die who didn't?
Elizabeth, the mom, is that her name? Elizabeth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely figured she was gonna die.
I thought Jadis was about to just kill her right there, that last episode.
Surprise. Yeah. She should have.
Yeah, probably. I did
not. Unless we see her end up changing the way she feels about the CRM because they took her daughter from her, right? Yeah. And then she ends up working with Rick somehow.
I was just about to say that maybe she becomes an ally. Maybe not the strongest ally right now because she is in jail, but maybe well, she knows a lot about. There you are.
Okay, so that was a little scary. It said boom, and then everything froze.
Ooh, that's fun. Also, it just dawned on me that you're only 2 hours behind me, not 3.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I still have plenty of
Yeah,
time.
because I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh my God, she's about to miss her movie for this podcast.
No, I think it's 2:30, 2:45 or something. Whatever
Yeah,
time.
yeah. So,
Got a little while.
okay, guys, so sorry. Chelsey had a power mishap. There was
Yeah.
the CRM went to go gas her. So she may or may not make it through the rest of this podcast. We will see.
Right. Oh,
The Bennetts blew up some C4 right outside of her house.
somebody did. It sounded like it for sure.
Huck's explosion went off.
Definitely.
Anyway, so what were we talking about? Oh, I said, what character did you think was going to die that didn't?
Oh,
And you
yeah.
put
The
Elizabeth.
bomb.
Yeah. So the character that I thought was going to die going into like the finale. So like I thought Huck, which happened. I thought Dennis, which happened. Um, I really did not see um, Hope, Iris, and Leo and Felix. I didn't see all four of them making it out. I thought like you never see a whole family stay
Yeah.
together. For they
For
learn one
sure.
thing, they use that to push other characters forward. So like I genuinely thought that Leo or Hope were gonna die. Like I didn't really think Iris. I thought it was possible because it's a series finale, so you never really know what they're gonna do. But I just didn't see that whole thing. I didn't see everyone surviving for the most part. The only person we lost out of our main group really is Huck. We lost Percy. Um, we lost Lila, but I don't really count her. Um, she was more of a
Yeah,
villain.
definitely don't count her.
Yeah. But so the only person really in the whole series that we lost was Percy and Huck, which I'm kind of fine with because Walking Dead, you don't always have to kill off your characters. Like, especially this far into the apocalypse when they're pretty. If you're alive this long, there's a reason for it, even though they were behind walls and stuff, but they've proven themselves. You don't always need to kill people, so I didn't think we'd see that many deaths, but we've never seen a Walking Dead show end before, so I didn't really know. Part of me was like, they could. A lot of people were calling it. I don't watch Star Wars. A lot of people were calling it Rogue Oneing it, and I guess in Rogue One, everybody like dies. I was like, oh my god, are we? They could all die, and that could be the end, which in a way could have made sense. The CRM one because there were only a couple people, and they kind of like beat the CRM, which okay, sure.
Okay, so they won the battle. They have not anywhere near won the war, in
Yeah.
my opinion. I feel like the series was underserved. It definitely could have used another season, maybe even two.
Mm-hmm. And also, part of me thinks they wasted a lot of time in season one with the journey getting there. That could have been a few episodes, and then they could have got into this stuff earlier. And then
Yeah,
maybe instead of being at the finale right now, we'd be at the midway point.
for
So
sure.
I think the show had some spacing issues, some timing issues. But overall, I still really like the story, and the characters definitely grew on me by the end. Someone like Iris, who yes was kind of frustrating at most point, but she was also our lead character. I consider her the lead over Hope. I think there was a lot more focus on Iris. Um, so yeah, they definitely made these characters worth watching by the end, but it shouldn't have taken that long. And we should have gotten
Right.
more. They're only a small puzzle piece to what they're building, and I wish we could have saw more of what they're building and why we're watching these characters. I don't want to just watch a character for no reason.
Right.
So they need to serve greater purpose.
I definitely agree. Um, like you said, Jadis answered one question, but it brought up so many other broader questions.
Mm-hmm.
And 20 episodes to see 6 of Jadis, I don't know. Was that worth it?
Yeah, and so I was looking at some interviews, and Jadis wasn't originally supposed to be in this show at all. The only reason she was able to do it is because so she was cast on some other show, and because COVID, the filming schedule got moved around, so then she was available to film World Beyond. So they're like, oh, so we can actually get Pollyanna McIntosh. Okay, let's do it. Let's write her in. So it wasn't even originally the plan. So I think last minute a lot of things changed. So I think they gave us as much as they kind of could with Jadis, because she wasn't. I'm very curious as to what the show would have been if Jadis couldn't show up, because maybe they would have just had
Right.
Elizabeth do all of that, and then maybe by the end with Huck dying, maybe it's still the basic thing would have happened at the end with Elizabeth, but maybe Elizabeth would have been the one doing a lot more of the brutal evil things, because once Jada showed up, Elizabeth pretty much disappeared until the finale.
Yeah.
So I think they did what they could with what they had, but I feel like, and I don't know this for sure, Scott Gimple obviously knows everything that's happening. He's written the Rick movies, like he knows that whole thing. But it's almost like he's so protective of those secrets that he wouldn't even give it to World Beyond. Like it's really annoying.
I could see that. I could see that. I mean, because with something this big and you've been working the last decade of your life towards it, you don't want to just give that to anybody. You don't want there to be leaks.
Yeah. And obviously that's just a thought I have. Who knows what like Angela Kang for Walking Dead, or Matt Negretti for World Beyond, or the two guys that run Fear, whose names I can never remember. Ian and Andrew. Yeah. Who knows what they actually know? Maybe they all work together to piece it all together. And they're doing a fine job, but I think we need more answers than what we're getting. That's all I'm going to say. We need more answers. And
well, it's just putting the pressure on the final 8. I mean,
yeah,
the final 8, the pressure is going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Because by that point in time, Fear the Walking Dead is going to be over, and we're going to know if there's going to be a huge time jump or not, and everything's going to kind of catch up to each other.
mm-hmm.
The World Beyond is over, so we know, we know what's going on there, and we're expecting it to. It's all got to tie together somehow.
Yeah,
And so the pressure's on.
I'm sure it's going to. Another question I kind of had, another thought I had. So we know we're getting a Michonne story. Obviously, we're getting the Rick movies. We don't know exactly what the Michonne story medium is going to be. We know we're getting the Daryl Carroll show. Do you think we're going to see like Maggie again after Walking Dead ends? I know you don't love Maggie, but she is still one of those main characters that it would make sense to have part.
Maggie's evolution on this last season has been amazing, and I probably would not be a viewer, but I would not be mad if she got her own show, or even like a couple of movies or whatever. Like, I wouldn't be mad at it. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't really think it's going to. For whatever reason, I just don't feel like Lauren Cohan's on board.
Yeah, it almost seems like I know she loves the show. I don't think she would have come back regardless if she wasn't a fan. And yeah, I don't know where she stands with wanting to play Maggie for much longer. Maybe the only reason she signed on is because she knew that it would only be another season. My thought is, because I kind of feel the same way about someone like Christian Serratos, who they wrote out for a while so she could go do other things. And I think they love the show, but they're kind of tired of playing the characters. Not overall, maybe that's not the right way to put it, but they've been playing these characters for so long.
Well, and not only that, there's a whole, they have to accept us, crazy people. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more that goes into it than just playing the role.
Yeah.
And I could definitely see where that would kind of, it's not necessarily a life that everybody would be wanting to live for a decade plus.
So. Yeah. So kind of my thought process is, so maybe they'll take the characters from Walking Dead that make sense. And maybe, like, we know Daryl and Carol are going to be in this spin-off show, but there could be other characters in it. It doesn't mean it's just going to be Daryl and Carol. So Judith could go with them. I have a hard time believing this would be the last time we see Judith Grimes. She's too integral to the story. And even someone like Connie, I could see Connie going. We could see, especially with how much of a fan favorite she is, I could totally see Connie going with Daryl and Carol. That would make a lot of sense. Do you think, so I guess what my overall question was is, after Walking Dead ends, do you think we're going to see these characters again?
I would say half of them probably, and the other half probably not.
Yeah. And I wonder if so, like going while they were writing the final season, I wonder if they like talked to like all their major characters. They sat down with, obviously Daryl and Carol don't count, but they sat down with like I'm just say the character name, it's easier, like Maggie, Negan, Judith, Eugene, Rosita, like Gabriel, Ezekiel, like some of these, like Aaron, like some of these like really big characters that we still have in the show. And I wonder if they sat them down and be like, hey, we're going into the final season. We're building this bigger world. Do you want to be a part of it? And I wonder if that's kind of how they'll pick and choose who lives and dies. Because if like, so say like Christian Serratos is like, I love this show, but I think my time with it's over. Maybe that's how they'll be like, okay, and then we'll kill off Rosita. But say like Josh McDermott's like, I'm all the way in, give me anything you want, I will do it for forever. Maybe then they'll be like, okay, we'll put Eugene in some sort of position where he can be part of the bigger story. You know what I mean? I'm not saying those two characters specifically.
No, I know.
But yeah, I saw your face when I brought up Eugene.
I had to bring up not a scientist. I think a lot of the storyline for the actual Walking Dead will be tied up by the end of the season. I think that it's going to end on a pretty final note. I feel like I don't count out Judith going with Daryl and Carol. I do not count that out at all, because that's her people. You know what I'm saying? That makes the most obvious sense for her. That's the only place that, like, where the hell else would she be? So I feel like everything's just going to tie up very nicely. If there were going to be other ways to bring it together, it would just, I feel like it's just going to be Daryl, Carol, Judith, maybe Virgil, maybe Connie, like you said, because she's kind of an integral part of the Daryl Carol group now.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see Negan again too much. I don't really think we'll see Maggie again. Aaron, I think he's done. I think it'll all just kind of tie together, and everybody will be one big happy family at the Commonwealth.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think what will happen, if anything, because I've been talking about for years before we even got World Beyond. I think maybe even before you and I got to really know each other. That I think they're building to like an Avengers style war. And so I think supposedly we're going to get 3 Rick movies. My thought process is, okay, so Daryl and Carol and Michonne, whoever else is with them, they're off. You have the Fear the Walking Dead characters off doing something. But you still have, like, say Maggie is leader of the Commonwealth. You still have Maggie there. The characters who survived the series there. Maybe they'll come in like the last movie, and they'll be part of like this big war, and you'll have like front lines. You'll have Rick, Michonne, Daryl, Carol, Alicia, Morgan, like so some of the Fear Kid, Dwight, there. Yeah. And then you have like Maggie, Rosita, maybe not Negan, he's a weird one, so maybe don't count Negan for that, but you have like Maggie, Rosita, Aaron. I don't know about Aaron. He's a weird one to me too. But you know what I mean. Like, you have characters from all the shows on the front lines leading this war to officially take down the CRM, and I think that could be the close out of the entire franchise.
We'll see.
Which I love that.
It depends on if it's on a global scale, though. I mean, that's a lot going on.
Yeah, that was my prediction before we saw this weird post-credit scene in France that I have no idea how it's going to tie into anything.
I guess we wait.
Yeah. And I totally forgot about the World Beyond characters, and I was just listening to people in that front line. You'd have Iris there too, obviously. Iris would probably be leading them all. She'd be the one in charge. Iris will probably be in charge of Rick.
Right? That I could see.
She's so formidable in that way. I could totally, in a weird way I was joking, but now that I'm saying it out loud, it almost makes sense. Iris could be the one that pulls them all together and leads this war against the CRM. Could happen. Alicia and her one arm.
With bones. She made her prosthetic with her own bones. That's so weird.
That is weird, especially because I've been watching like the beginning of the Fear the Walking Dead series, seeing Alicia, and she's like a kid, like
yeah.
And now I'm like, but when I watch it, like Charlie's been watching it with me. I finally got him to watch some Walking Dead. It's been the best thing that ever happened to me. But I've been telling him like I don't want to spoil too much for you because he's kind of into it now. I'm like, I'm not going to tell you anything except Alicia is that character. Like he's like, there's no way. She's like a teenage girl. Like, what do you mean? Like, he's like, I don't remember exactly how he worded it, but I'm like, she's one of the best fighters in the entire franchise. Just watch. He's like, no, there's no way. You're just saying that. I'm like, no, I promise. Like, Alicia is that character. Like, she's that amazing. And then I thought they were gonna kill her, and I got really scared.
Oh. But all right, guys.
Yeah, we're definitely spiraling now.
Yes, and it's been fun, but we're gonna go watch House of Gucci.
Yes, I think Charlie and I are gonna try to go see that very soon. It looks really good. I'm very excited. So just to wrap everything up, we're gonna have probably another maybe Walking Dead only focused podcast coming out soon. We don't know exactly what that's gonna look like. Maybe we'll go and do our character series again that we were started, and then life got crazy and we left off. We're also definitely going to do some more Jukebox Junkies. I have some ideas I want to run by you for end of year stuff, but within the next week or two, guys, watch out for our best and worst songs of the year list. Mine's already put together. I did change some things around because of course I did, but yeah, so we have a lot of big things coming for the end of the year, just like we did last year. I have an idea for something I want to do that I'm not going to say yet, that I have to run by Chelsey first. And yeah, it should be an exciting next few months, assuming we have time to podcast, because our schedules don't really line up very well anymore. So yeah, we'll see. But
we'll get it done.
Yeah, any parting words, Chelsey?
No, just I love you guys, and I hope y'all are all as traumatized as we are.
Yes, and thanks for the support. Our last two videos, we never get that many views. That was never the point of the podcast. We always just wanted to have fun with it and just talk and put it out there. But we've got a good amount of views in our last couple of videos. So for those of you who are supporting us, maybe we have a couple like loyal followers now, which would be cool. Thank you, and spread the word. And maybe if we start getting a lot of views, we'll be able to make even more content for you guys. So we'll see. So yeah, anyway, on that note, thank you guys. Peace out. See you real soon. And bye.
Bye.